Good morning. My name is Eric Hess. I'm the Director of Product Management for Facial Recognition and Security Solutions here at SAFR, a entity within the Real Networks company. With me today is Gerald Becker, our Senior Director of Sales for North America. He'll be doing our demonstration a little bit later on. I'm going to go through a number of slides fairly quickly, just to give you a little bit of background. So first off, SAFR is part of Real Networks, which is a company that has been around for about 26 years now. It was formed by our current CEO, Rob Glazer, after he left Microsoft. And Real Networks really ushered in the era of streaming audio and video over the internet. Indeed, at one time, it was estimated that about 80% of the world's streaming content was enabled by Real Networks technology. So what does this have to do with face recognition today? Well, we became experts in moving audio and video content around the web and understanding its content. And it's this aspect of understanding content which led to our ability to do face recognition and the birth of SAFR for security as a product offering in 2018. One of the things that is really important to us is recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And there are a lot of people that use or that think about face recognition as a tool that is used to get around that does not do that. And we absolutely, at the core of everything we do, we embrace our guiding principles. These are our public statements about ethical use of face recognition. And you'll see the link down at the bottom of the slide there where you can read about them yourselves. But the first and foremost is that we value not only customers and the public, and then we also recognize the inherent dignity and equal worth of every person. So our customers are the organizations that actually deploy SAFR and use it. We consider their interests and the interests of those that pass in front of the cameras that our technology is monitoring. And we take that relationship very seriously. We work hard to earn and keep the trust for every single one of our customers and our partners. So accountability is very, very important to us. We submit our product for independent performance evaluation and communicate its strengths as well as limitations. And in that regard, you might take a look at LinkedIn because we're actually one of the companies that came out when there was a lot of information about face recognition and PPE or surgical masks, and said, hey, listen, we can match with those as well, but there are some limitations. So let's go ahead and have that conversation. So just a couple of examples of how we actually walk the walk and talk the talk with our guiding principles. SAFR is a highly accurate AI-based face recognition platform that was specifically optimized and developed for accuracy and performance with live video. It's been designed to scale economically with high performance, detecting and matching hundreds of thousands and millions of faces in near real time, even under the challenging conditions where faces can be in motion, cameras can be placed at odd and challenging angles, and of course we all know the challenges of poor lighting conditions or a partly obscured face. All of these are taken into consideration in the architecture and development of the product. SAFR solution is a software platform that includes three main products. There's the application, which is the desktop app that your surveillance operators would interact with, the SAFR server, and then also SAFR mobile apps. Now, what's really unique about the SAFR platform is that the server can be either on premises or the matching and person record management components of the solution can be hosted in the web. So we have over, I think it was last month, we executed over 17 million facial comparisons in a cloud-hosted platform for some of our customers. The other thing about the SAFR solution is it is integrated with some of the leading VMS packages out there today, most notably Digital Milestone, Genetec, and Avigilon. Just a couple of the key features for those of you who aren't familiar with SAFR, and then we'll be diving right into the new feature showcase portion. First off, like many face recognition products, we automate watch list monitoring, which means that the software is watching each of the camera feeds without taking a break or ever getting distracted. And this really frees your surveillance teams to concentrate on other aspects of surveillance. When we do recognize an individual, or when we recognize that an individual has come in and there was sufficient biometric data within the face, but a match wasn't made, we can surface an alert. Now, I just started to mention that, and this is one of the things that is really an extremely unique feature for SAFR. And it's not one that is part of previous face recognition platforms that I've deployed or worked on before. This is the workflow that when we recognize or when we detect a face, we evaluate whether or not there's sufficient biometric sample there to be able to get a high quality match against our data set. And in doing this, we can go ahead and determine if a face is belonging to a known or a recognized person enrolled in our face database, or they're a stranger, that they have a face with sufficiently good biometric data that we were able to capture, but we weren't able to recognize them within our watch list. So this means that we can go ahead and initiate alerts and prevent things such as tailgating. We can detect individuals who are not registered to be in certain areas. And that's a really powerful workflow part of the SAFR platform. Another one is, like several other platforms, once we're able to detect a face, we're able to determine a great deal of information. So we can analyze for age, for gender, and for sentiment, getting real-time data about people moving through spaces. And this is important to help with some of the demographics. As many of you out there know, either as end-user companies or as resellers, getting some additional value out of the package is very important. So one of the common questions we get consistently is, hey, I'm a security department, I want to purchase this, but our marketing departments would like some of this additional information as well. And if you can provide that, that helps me out as a buyer because I can pull from multiple budget buckets to purchase a system. So the more you know about the environment, the better you can serve your guests as well as the other entities within your organization.
Is there something you can sort of talk about, again, the age and gender is something that our testing has shown to be really difficult, generally inaccurate, and problem causing. Is there something you guys are doing specifically, from a training standpoint, from an analytics standpoint, an AI standpoint, to mitigate the issues and problems and the difficulty of age, gender, sentiment, all those, really specific analytics?
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that I would say there, Adam. First and foremost, when it comes to capturing age and gender for marketing purposes, marketing divisions within retailers and other organizations, they really can't slice and dice their offerings and deliver them with different messages, et cetera, to their audience in less than really about 5-year age buckets, right? So as far as delivering effective solutions for marketing-driven applications, that degree of accuracy is actually well within, and it goes somewhat beyond, what they're capable of taking advantage of. Our own internal testing, we believe that our age estimation is within 2 to 3 years with greater than 95% accuracy. Now, we're constantly working to develop our algorithm. What we'd really like to say before we, put any stake in the ground is, let's have that be an objective, open test that we all get to participate in. Unfortunately, and even with some of the NIST tests, right, there are so many different slices and dices of evaluations they do. A lot of vendors can go ahead and claim supremacy in one area as sort of an overarching blanket statement. We're going to try to avoid that today. And if there is a customer that would like to evaluate our solution and just how accurate that age and gender can be, they can reach out to us after the end of the presentation. But absolutely, it's an area of constant algorithm development.
Okay.
Lastly, lastly, our very first offering was focused on access control. So right from the beginning, we were working on touchless authentication with a challenge response element of liveness detection that could be used to automate the locking and unlocking of doors. In fact, one of the photos there you see on the screen is actually of our iPad-based solution at our offices here in Seattle, where every single employee is registered, and we all are able to lock or unlock doors using our face. One of the challenge response mechanisms that are available to us is come up and smile, or another one could be look left or look right. Now, access control with liveness detection using an RGB stream that is passive, where you don't challenge the person, is an active area of research. And we're hoping in your next new feature release, we'll be able to share some exciting news with regards to that. But in the meantime, for secure access, SAFR for access control is a fantastic solution for those organizations that either need a tech-forward, savvy, contactless authentication methodology where maybe high security is already taken care of at the perimeter by some other solution. But definitely, it's one of the things that many of our customers are enjoying today, and it's actually one of the first solutions that we offered at no charge to K-12 schools to be able to use it. Let's dive quickly into the new features, and then we'll move on to the demo. So first of all, building upon our experience of developing consumer-facing applications, SAFR is currently undergoing a usability update within all areas of the application. And we're actually reworking that to assure ease of use as well as efficiency for the surveillance operator. So you'll see those that new UX in the current release, as well as additional capabilities or additional implementations of improved UX come out over the next couple of releases. And we do monthly releases with SAFR. So you'll see it in the new operator console today. The other thing that's really new is contrast enhancement. So while NIST benchmarks have shown our face detection and our matching accuracy, our speed and our template sizes to be among the leading algorithms or vendors today, we understand that real-world environments that all of you operate in are much more challenging, right? They are conditions where faces are in motion at various angles, for lighting, etc. So speaking of all of that, at SAFR we've developed our own WDR-like enhancements, but we've approached the problem a little bit differently. Our development of contrast enhancement has been done specifically to improve image quality for face recognition. And so we believe that's a slightly different approach than others have taken, which have taken a look at the overall holistic image. And so that's a different approach. The other thing is because we apply that at the analysis, at the video processing level, we can deliver WDR-like performance to legacy IP cameras. And that really does improve face detection and recognition and provides that enhanced image through all aspects of the user experience. And in our own testing, we've seen about a 20% improvement of detection rates and subsequent matching. Moving on, another thing that's really interesting is that we now include person or body detection as a core capability. And not only do we detect the person, the body, but we actually link it to the face that has been detected as well. So no more headless horseman analytics where, the face recognition platform you're using can recognize a face or a body, but that data has been disassociated from one another. So this capability allows SAFR to provide better tracking and better awareness of where people move within the field of view of the camera, even when we can no longer see their face. So this has a variety of benefits around tracking and displaying identities on screen, as well as better audience analysis, because we can do things such as detect the difference between a person or body dwelling their face actually looking in the direction of it, which would be their attentiveness time. So this can also, for the security professional, help reduce repetitive alerts when an enrolled person is just loitering in front of a monitored camera. So it has efficiency and improvements that touch the customer in a couple of different ways. It also falls into what we call directional analysis. Now, this is the ability to initiate alarms or notifications when SAFR detects movement of either a face or a body in a direction that has been deemed to be unacceptable. And this is useful for a couple of different reasons. One is detecting when a traveler is moving the wrong direction. Say, we've all been at the airports. We know when we're leaving the sterile side of the airport, there's TSA agents or there's security agents there to make sure that we continue moving in one direction and don't initiate any backflow. SAFR can now recognize that in itself. It goes one step further, though, and in that top image, you will see this is a screenshot of the user experience, and you'll forgive us. The images that I had available to me while we're pulling this together come from some of our engineers and our support engineers, while we're all working at home. But that top one shows a profile image as well as the frontal enrolled image, and then the directional analysis. And that's one of the alerts that can be done based on recognizing a known person. So we have the known entity there. We can also initiate an alert based on the body. So it's really very interesting. When you're doing it based on face, you can actually vary the alert based on whether or not the wrong direction of travel is for a known person. Say maybe you've enrolled your security guards, so in that case you would suppress the alert, or an unrecognized person or stranger, in which case that truly is the person that you were worried about the wrong direction of travel. So enough of me talking. What I'd like to do is be able to pass the presentation over to Gerald Becker, and he will go ahead and give you a bit of a demo of SAFR and the new features.
You guys have about a minute for that, and then we do have quite a few questions that came in. So, and I mean, if there's a spot where I can even, as you're presenting the video, I can ask some questions as well.
Let's jump to the demo so people can actually see the product, and by all means, I'm sure there's going to be some questions you'll have for Gerald right there. If there is a question that I can answer quickly that has already come in, I'm happy to do that as you transfer the screen over to Gerald's presentation.
So the secure access, which major access control companies are you integrated with?
We would love for them to contact us.
Does that mean none of them yet?
None of them yet, but we do have an API that is ready and set up to integrate directly with access control platforms, including the ingestion of identities, as well as when SAFR recognizes an access control event, it can pass it back either directly to the door or to that access control platform. And just a special little sneak for those that are on your presentation today. Look for news from us about this because we are currently in the process of integrating with one VMS-based access control solution. So that's a little teaser for your next month's new features update.
Okay. How well do you do with face detection on faces turned more than 30 degrees?
So SAFR has, and actually Gerald can show this the preferences to you as well. But SAFR has the ability to recognize faces out almost to the full profile, as you've seen here in this one screenshot. The lower two images, I think, are more representative of real world. Again, at SAFR, we absolutely believe in trust and openness and transparency. So the upper screenshot with Steve looking to our viewers left with the mask down around his chin, I do believe that frame is off a frame. So that would be the absolute most extreme.
Hey, Eric, can you pass control?
Yeah, up to 30 is much more realistic.
Could you pass control
over
me to share?
Over to Gerald. He'll actually show. Yep. Gerald will actually show you some of that matching at extreme angles as well as with occlusion.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Would you, if someone was asking about statistics on false acceptance and rejection rates, would you have them really look at NIST results, or how would you sort of talk about that? So false acceptance and rejection rates on your AI, the face rec.
Yeah, on our website, we do have some information regarding our facial recognition accuracy, but we do very much like to point to scientifically based, objective evaluations that do an apples-to-apples comparison for everybody out there. Yep. But just in general, stating in the University of Massachusetts labeled faces in the wild, we achieve about a 99.87%.
Yeah, but everybody does 99% on faces in the wild. So.
Well, then I would say, the NIST reports are the most comparative in apples to apples.
Perfect.
But you'll see right now, Gerald has started up SAFR in his home office there, and he'll show the extreme angle matching as well as a couple of our new features.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, so what you guys see here is our existing application as it pertains to Windows implementation. We can install on Mac, Linux, Windows, Android, iOS. So what I'm showing you is our Windows implementation. I've enrolled my face in here. I've got a database of 8,048 people in the system. To enroll people in the system, it's very easy. You could click on the image itself. So I'll go ahead and delete this person real quick myself. I'll go ahead and cover my face. I'm no longer in the system, so when I get in front of the camera, you see the purple circle. So I click on it, I can enter my face, I'm now in the system. So now anytime I come in within the field of view, it'll pick me up. If I click refresh on the right hand side, I'm now in the system. I can also easily upload thousands of faces at any given time by going to add face, and if I've got a database of thousands of faces, or if I'm looking for a specific face, I could go ahead and enroll one-to-one or thousands at a given time, or even import through a script thousands and thousands of faces. As you can see, I'm now in the system. I refresh, there I am. Now, a couple things I did want to show you guys as far as the watch list goes that Eric was talking about earlier. We are capable of doing massive watch lists. So as you can see here, we have a very, very large database with very diverse background and ethnicities that could come into the field of view. Now, this is an actual live demo that I recorded from CNN's website that basically showed the presidential inauguration. And you'll see here towards the bottom of my 8,000 face database, I've got several presidents to include Barack Obama, President Bush, Carter, Trump, so on and so forth. So what you'll see here is as soon as the presidents come into the field of view, when I click on the bookmarks on the left-hand side, they'll immediately start firing off alarm events within our event window. So as soon as you see President Obama come into the field of view, there you see the live events coming into the console. So here's our event archive. I'll go ahead and delete these so you can see those actually coming in real time. So let me go ahead and go back to this frame of view over here. So you can see there's Bush, it caught Bush, it caught me earlier. I'm gonna rewind this back over here. I'm gonna click play. There's President Obama. You see the live event card coming in here. And as soon as it starts panning into different areas, you'll see that it'll pick up different presidents within the field of view. We also have this very cool feature as it pertains to persistent body tracking that Eric talked about earlier. I'm going to turn on my preferences and I'm going to go through some very quick features. I know we're coming up on time. We did talk about age, gender, and sentiment. I'm going to turn these on real quick so you guys can see this. These different analytics can get turned on and provide additional reporting in the background. So as soon as I come into the frame of view, you see we're plus or minus 2 years. I'm 41 years old. So obviously we got a lot of backlighting here, but you can see we're still doing fairly well. We got the sentiment there. I'm smiling. I'm actually showing that I'm indifferent, sadder. So if I smile, that'll provide additional analytics that we can trigger different alerts or different automation within the system to provide maybe ads or whatever it may be for the use case. Now, I did want to show on the persistent body tracking, which is a very cool feature as far as being able to track faces once they're out of view. So if we go into detection, I enable person detection. I'm going to go to this video that pertains to an airport environment. Now, this airport environment is a really good use case for something when we want to track people that may be going in the wrong direction or going in an area where they shouldn't be. So we'll see a hallway of people that will actually be walking down an area where they should only be going in a certain direction. So what you'll see here, as soon as I click play, I'm going to go ahead and delete all these events. And this will bring...
Quick question while this is loading. What do you guys do? How do you approach GDPR compliancy? What is your, position with GDPR? Do you offer like the face covering, obscuring of faces, anything like that, in addition to recognition?
Eric, I'll let you take that one.
That is a big, yeah. So with regards to GDPR, there's a number of different elements. One thing that we already do today is the encryption of data, both at rest as well as in transit. With regards to obscuring faces, obviously that is something that, because we do the face detection, we have the ability to do, but it has not yet been released.
Okay. And then with liveness detection, that's something you guys are working on, you said?
I would love if you guys have another new features showcase in a month or so. But yes, right now we do the RGB stream challenge response, which can be smile or look left, look right, look at a various direction. But we are also doing R&D with hardware-based solutions, as well as being able to do an RGB passive liveness detection.
So real quick, this is our body tracking. So persistent body tracking. As you can see, we caught this guy who actually was a bolo on our list. So as soon as I rewind back this video, you can see we're actually still tracking this body in historical video. As he comes back into the frame, you can see this is where we actually capture his face, but we still have that bounding box, so we can actually track him throughout the facility, wherever that person may be going to. Last but not least, I do want to touch on the fact that we...
Yeah, and Gerald, I got to cut you off there. That's the half an hour, unfortunately.
No problem.
People, we're going to be sharing your contact info. We'll be posting the video a little bit later. We did have a couple other questions, unfortunately, we could not get to. But yeah, we can have follow-up later on those. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Adam, if you want to forward any of those questions to us, we'd be happy to write up responses that you can get back out.
Okay, that sounds great.